In the back of my mind, you died. And I didn't even cry. No, not a single tear.
Breaking news now. The body of a young girl found in the trunk of a Tesla has been identified.
Police say a 15-year-old girl was found in pieces in the trunk of singer David's car.
How did you make your first song?
I looked up how to make music on iPhone, and I used my sister's closet as the studio.
Officers say Celeste Rivas's dismembered, decomposing body was discovered inside the car as it was sitting at a Los Angeles tow yard on September 8th, days after it was impounded.
In April 2024, a report of a missing girl was made in Lake Elsinore. Her name, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. She was last seen leaving her home in April 2024 and was declared missing soon after and was just 13 years old at the time. In September 2025, a year and 5 months after Celeste had been reported missing, employees at a Hollywood tow yard noticed a strong odor coming from a car. The smell was so overwhelming that they called police. When officers opened the trunk, they made a grim discovery: a body wrapped in plastic. The car was registered to David Anthony Burke. Authorities say it had been towed from the Hollywood Hills after being abandoned for some time, and they believe the body was placed in the trunk about 5 days before it reached the impound lot. Through investigations, police discovered that David Anthony Burke is a popular upcoming artist who goes by the name D4VD. David was on tour across North America and Europe promoting his debut album, Withered. It is odd that with such a horrific discovery tied to his car, and he is still out on tour. You'd think the priority would be finding out what happened. His upcoming Seattle tour date has been canceled. He's still scheduled to perform in San Francisco and then in Los Angeles at the Greek Theater. David's career rose quickly in recent years, beginning when he composed original tracks to accompany Fortnite videos on YouTube. His transition to TikTok launched several viral hits, including Romantic Homicide and Here With Me. Remarkably, just 5 days before Celeste's body was discovered in his car, Fortnite announced that David had written the game's first ever official anthem, a track titled Locked and Loaded. David began releasing his music on audio platform SoundCloud and posting his songs to his YouTube channel in 2021. The first music video he posted was a song titled Romantic Homicide in September 2022. As of a couple of days ago, the video has had 179 million views on YouTube. The audio of this song was released in July 2022. A snippet of the song went viral on social media platform TikTok. In the back of my mind, you died. And I didn't even cry. No, not a single tear. D4VD also shot to TikTok fame with another song titled Here With Me, the video for which he released on YouTube in November 2022. As of this past week, this video had 244 million views. The lyric from that song, which went viral, was, "I don't care how long it takes, as long as I'm with you, I've got a smile on my face." Celeste's family had no idea there could be a connection to the body discovered in that Tesla until they got a call from TMZ. TMZ broke the story after speaking with Celeste's mother. Outside the Lake Elsinore home, where 15-year-old Celeste was last seen, her family is now grappling with the news that her partially dismembered body was found in the trunk of a Tesla registered to singer-songwriter David. Her mother was devastated. She mentioned her daughter had a boyfriend named David, and also revealed her daughter's tattoo, SH, in red ink on her right index finger. Something police had not released publicly at first. Little was known, including the victim's identity or whether the singer had any connection to her. But this week, the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner confirmed the victim as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas. LAPD described her as 5 feet 2 inches, with wavy hair and a tattoo on her right index finger. She was wearing a tube top, black leggings, an earring, and a yellow metal chain bracelet when found. Heartbreakingly, her 15th birthday was the day before her body was found. But given that it was the smell of rotting remains that led tow yard workers to call police, investigators believe Celeste never lived to see that milestone. It has been discovered that David has the same tattoo on his right index finger. While that detail raised questions, investigators caution it may be a coincidence, as several celebrities, including Lindsay Lohan, Rihanna, and Lily Allen, have had similar tattoos. According to a missing persons poster, she was last seen on April 5, 2024, in Lake Elsinore, California, when she was just 13 years old. At the time, she was wearing gray pants, a black sweater, a hat, and Hello Kitty sandals. Attorneys for the singer emphasize that he is continuing to cooperate fully with investigators. Authorities have not named him a suspect, but that hasn't stopped speculation online. Some fans have even pointed to his past music as supposed clues. In one of his songs, Romantic Homicide, released in 2022, 2 years before Celeste went missing and 3 years before her body was discovered, he sang, "In the back of my mind, I killed you and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true. I hate you." Theories intensified this week after reports emerged that in an unreleased track, the singer referenced someone named Celeste. The leaked lyrics included, "Oh, Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed," another verse read, "Oh, Celeste, afraid you'll only love me when undressed. But you look so damn gorgeous in that dress. Missing you so much makes me depressed." That song reportedly leaked in December 2023, just months before Celeste was officially reported missing. Importantly, there has been no confirmation that the Celeste in those lyrics refers to the victim. The fallout has been swift. Brands like Crocs and Hollister announced they were suspending campaigns featuring the singer. In a joint statement, they said, "We are aware of this developing story. With respect to the current situation, we have removed campaign content featuring David while the investigation continues." Police were the first to inform David about the body found in his Tesla, claiming he had no prior knowledge. Still, questions remain about how his car ended up in a tow yard if it had not been reported stolen. Investigators searched a house near the spot where the Tesla was abandoned. Witnesses say dozens of officers were seen removing a computer and other items from a Hollywood home. Some neighbors told reporters they recalled seeing that Tesla parked near the residence under investigation, or at other locations along the same street. Once again, David has not been named a suspect, and no criminal charges have been filed. The fact that her body was found in the trunk suggests foul play, and the circumstances are only going to get more complex and more tragic as the investigation unfolds. A Tesla is essentially a rolling computer. It stores enormous amounts of data: location, door activity, even weight sensors. Once investigators and Tesla engineers retrieve that information, they'll know much more about what happened and when. Considering the link between the victim and the car's owner, this case is only going to get more revealing as the facts come out. All of these data points seem to be circling back to the rapper. We don't know what role, if any, he actually played, but it does appear he may face some level of culpability in connection with this girl's death. The most important piece of evidence is the body itself. It tells the entire story. The medical examiner has not yet finished their work. The next critical step is toxicology, which can take anywhere from a few days to a few weeks. Those results will help determine the cause of death and give investigators a clearer direction. At the same time, they'll be analyzing the trunk where she was found, as well as the car's passenger compartment. If there are traces of blood or signs of violence, that will shape the next steps in the investigation. From there, they'll conduct a full forensic sweep of the vehicle. But perhaps the most valuable piece of evidence is the Tesla's onboard computer. It logs far more information than most owners realize: location history, activity data, and much more. The car's owner wouldn't have the technical expertise to erase that information, so investigators will have a detailed digital trail to work with. Teslas are equipped with both interior and exterior cameras, so investigators will likely be able to determine who was inside the vehicle before it was abandoned. Investigators will dig into the victim's phone. We don't know yet whether it was found with her, but for a 15-year-old, everything is in that device: her contacts, messages, social media. That will give police her circle of friends and acquaintances, and they'll start interviewing them. They'll also talk to people close to the singer to see what they know. The bottom line is, victims don't put themselves into trunks. Someone put her there, whether she was alive or dead at the time, and detectives will figure out who. It's possible Celeste wasn't murdered. She could have died from a drug overdose and was then placed in the car. Either way, someone is responsible for her ending up in that trunk. And of course, investigators and her family are desperate to uncover the truth about what happened to her. On Justicia Street, where Celeste grew up, neighbors, family, and friends are united in their call for justice. Whatever happened to her could happen to someone else, and that's terrifying, another resident added. Investigators are still working to determine Celeste Rivas's cause of death, but LAPD confirms they are treating the case as a homicide. Until recently, there was no public indication that LAPD detectives were connecting those dots. That changed when homicide investigators raided a home in the Hollywood Hills, the very same area where the Tesla containing Celeste's body had been abandoned and later towed. A search warrant was executed on September 18th at the Hollywood home where David had been living. The house had most recently been occupied by David, even though the lease was reportedly in his manager's name. During the search, police seized a computer along with what they described as other items. Investigators say the search of that Hollywood Hills home is significant, not only because it's directly tied to David, but also because of its proximity. The property sits just about a block and a half from where his Tesla was parked before it was towed to the impound lot. Investigators used luminol throughout the Hollywood Hills home, searching for any traces of blood that might reveal where Celeste was killed or dismembered. They checked drains for tissue or blood residue and combed every corner of the house. That focus makes sense given what we already know. Celeste's body was dismembered, and not all of her remains have been found. Detectives wanted to determine whether the mutilation happened inside that residence. The search didn't stop at the interior. Detectives examined the entire property, including the yard and a 3-car garage. True crime followers will note garages often become a focal point in these kinds of cases, given their privacy and utility. Reporters also asked whether police are investigating any unusual purchase histories tied to David or his circle. Things like cleaning supplies, tarps, or tools. For now, no such evidence has been disclosed. Friends and associates of David, meanwhile, have been reluctant to talk. Sources describe them as tight-lipped, fully aware of the gravity of the investigation and the national spotlight now on this case. But as is often true in homicide investigations, once arrests are made, people start talking, eager to avoid being on the wrong side of the law. Neighbors confirmed they had seen a Tesla parked outside the house, and not just any Tesla. This one stood out because it had Texas license plates. Multiple witnesses described the same black Tesla with Texas tags, which made it memorable in Los Angeles. Records show the vehicle was registered to David, originally from the Houston area. What remains unclear is who was actually behind the wheel of that Tesla when the victim's body was placed inside, or who left it parked in the spot where it was eventually discovered and impounded. Those are the unanswered questions investigators are still working to connect. As for the house, there's little doubt it was David's residence at the time. He posted numerous photos and videos from inside the property, even hosting friends and collaborators there. Music producer Benny Blanco was spotted visiting, and others recalled recording TikTok videos with David at that location. One thing investigators have not uncovered, however, is any evidence, photos or video, showing Celeste inside that home. Still, other images have surfaced that suggest the two had a relationship. A resurfaced live stream shows David and Celeste speaking together, and another photo places them side by side at an LA event in October 2023, the same event where David was photographed with Billie Eilish. On that October 2023 photo, Celeste had just turned 14, and David would have been about 18 in 2023. There are additional concerning details about her home life. Records show multiple missing person reports, one in January 2024 and another in April, suggesting instability in periods when she was out of contact with her mother. There is a photo of David in a Lake Elsinore parking lot. Lake Elsinore is about 70 miles east of LA, and that lot is roughly a 6-minute walk from Celeste's mother's home. So while it's not next door, it is within the same community where Celeste lived. He has a 2022 hit called Romantic Homicide, which contains darker lines such as, "In the back of my mind, I killed you and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true, I hate you." The track predates Celeste's disappearance by about a year, but it's resurfacing now because of the case. There's no evidence those lyrics reference Celeste specifically. Possible charges could include accessory after the fact, accessory during the crime, or even conspiracy. These are the kinds of charges that start tightening the circle around the key suspect investigators are pursuing. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's David or his manager. It could be either of them or even someone else entirely. We will keep you updated on new developments.